We're going to be starting now the Mamer D and MamerVe'Ovarti tochen, which discuss the einyonim of Yetzias Mitzrayim, Golus Mitzrayim, and Avodas. Before we begin, just one word on the Seder al-Limud. The learning of these Ma'amarim is going to be done outside of the Shiur, meaning everyone's going to learn himself these Ma'amarim, side the Mamer D and side the Mamer tochen. The Shiurim are going to be designed relying on the fact that those learning are going to be learning before the Shiur. So we're not going to be reading inside, and the Shiurim are going to be a sikum, a taste for spiur, bringing from other places. However, even if you haven't learned the Mamer, you will be able to follow the Shiur. The Shiur could also be a hakdama for the learning of the Mamer, or could be an einyonim for itself. Obviously, it's preferable that the Shiur is bekesher to the limud inside, and then it's a real limud. So let's begin with the einyonim, the way it's in the Ma'amarim over here, the way it's in Nun-Hey, the way it's over here. It says in Kisvari that the einyonim of Mitzrayim is Meitzer Agor. It says that Golus, the guf Adam is structured. There's the head, there's the guf, which includes the heart, and then there's the feet, or the klei amaisa. Al derech zeh is in nefesh. There's the meach, there's the which is the seichel, there's the hergish, which is in lev, and then there's the keches amaisa in the nefesh. The neck is an aver in Gashmis, which l'chura doesn't have any place in those einyonim. And al derech zeh is what's the purpose of the neck? What is this thing between the meach and the lev, between the seichel and the midas? So the Arizal explains that this is called the Meitzer Agorim, which has its purpose in Avodah, in the structure of the Nefesh Adam, and in Klippe it's called Mitzrayim, or Meitzer of Klippe. That's Golus Mitzrayim. Bepratius, this einyonim of Meitzer Agorim is discussed in Chassidus in various forms. The Mashal, it says that Parei Melech Mitzrayim is Yetzias ha'erev. Ha'erev means the back of the neck, the nape, or the nape, which is the idea of the Meitzer in a klippidik eifin, like we're going to see. Al derech zeh, it says that Gorim and Choron have the same gematria almost with the Kail, because that's the einyonim of Klippe. Choron, Charinaf. Bepratis, the Gimel Sarei Parei, Sara Eifim, Sara Tabochim, and Sara Mashkim are also merumiz in the neck, because they are the Kone, the Veshet, the Vridim. Aber be'efen kloli, Klippes Mitzrayim is this einyonim of the Gorim, the Meitzer Agor. So what we want to discuss over here now is, first of all, what is this einyonim of the Meitzer Agor, and why is it there lachatchila? Obviously, it's structured this way, the Nefesh Adam, that there should be this Meitzer. How is it in Kedusha, and how is it in Klippe? So let's first begin with why it should be this way. What does it mean in Kedusha? The way the guf Adam is structured is that there's the head and then there's the guf. The most narrow place in the guf is the neck. Al derech zeh, the most narrow place is between the meichen and the midas, because over there is a hefsek. Like we see by Pashtus, that when a person has a svar, an understanding, and after he has this upleg, in order for it to come to midas, there has to be a shtemim k'shachada. There has to be a moment of verlorenkeit, where a person is neither in a meichen mode or in a midas mode. There's a vacuum in between, which allows for the midas to develop. And that's the Meitzer Agorim, which is Saibe Gashmis and Saibe Ruchnis. Fragt sich der Scheile, Hagufe, Why is that? Why is it necessary in Kedusha that there should be this moment in between the Mechin and the Midas? So the way it's explained in our Mamer is as back Mechin and Midas are Muhusim Nivdol. The Rebbe is Meisiv Aloshen that they are not just Nivdolim, they're Hafchim. Was heißt? So let's begin by Pashtus. First of all, by what they want. Seichel is looking for the truth. Midas is looking to experience himself. So if Seichel is, his mavukish is to find out the objective truth, which is not about himself, and Midas is about myself, that's an opposite. Nochmer, it's not just what they want, it's how they experience. The way Seichel functions is that a person has to be objective. This says that for this half an hour, or for this hour, when I'm thinking a svara, I'm not thinking about myself. That says the Eibishter gave a person a special matone, a gift, that a person could experience something other than himself, which no other nivra has. But this is something a person has, to be able to have a kesher with something outside of him. So the experience is an experience of not myself, of a truth. Nochmer, if there's any part of me involved while I'm thinking the truth, das heißt akrume lernen. You're not thinking gleich, you're not thinking objectively, you have preconceived notions, you're approaching the Inyan in a meshuchet dike nicht as lernt. Masha'enkin midas, it's not just what I want is to process or to produce a ave or a yira in me to gain a friendship. The way I experience it is by experiencing myself. If a person is experiencing a midah and it's in a detached, objective eifen, so it's not a midah. A midah is about I. Not just in what I want and the way I experience, but also in the results. Mechin, after I understand, or because I understand, sehiptuf, a person has now become shayches to a truth. A truth has overtaken him. The emes of the svara has not changed him. He's grown. He's become a different person. Masha'enkin midas, I began in myself. I was looking for myself. I experienced myself, and therefore I remain in myself. Nothing changed. A person could have a midas ha'ave or midas ha'kas or any midah for days on end. Finished, the experience is over. He comes back to square one because he in melachatchila never really had any kesher to a truth outside of him. It was all about himself. Lachatchila. Therefore, perhaps, not just in what I'm looking for and the way I experience and the results, also the way Seichel treats something is also an eifen of bittul, of a search for not me. Because the way I experience it is in a way where I'm going outside of myself. What does Seichel look to do to the sviva? Seichel looks to rationalize, to explain to put things in perspective. In other words, what Seichel is really doing is he's making it smaller. What Seichel does to things is great phenomenon. He puts things in perspective. He takes a klal, he breaks up into pratim. He takes a Yetzias, he says, no, really, it's tzvei dinim. Seichel is mevatel. Seichel frekt akasha. On Seichel, I accept the Yetzias. What does Seichel do? He says, who says? Seichel's ma'arer on the Yetzias. Seichel is looking to take things apart. Because the tochen of Seichel is for me to be, I'm in his battle to something, so he's mevatel the sviv. Masha'enkin midas, I grow, Was heißt I grow? I experience myself. It's about me. It's about my yeshes. And therefore, the way I look at things in a big way. Everything becomes magnified with midas. The thing is more scary than I thought it was. It's more lovable. There's more reason to be angry. Is lesikum, the tnuah of seichel is to connect to truth. The tnuah of midas is myself, which is the lashon of our Mamer, bittul atzmei und hergish atzmei. In the Mamer nun haze, there's another lashon. Seichel is la'atzmei, and midas is la'azulas. That says the whole tnuah of seichel is that a person retreats into himself and is detached from his sviva. Mashenkin midas is, by definition, you're connecting to things, to people, to ongoings. That's what midas are. Das is the hagdaras achiluk between mechen and midas. The Rebbe adds over here another word, which it doesn't say in Nunhei, is that seichel is bikriris, is kalt. Mashenkin midas is bechamimis. Therefore, it's understood that when from seichel to midas, there has to be a meitzer agorin in between. There has to be what we call a ein be'entza. Why? Because whenever there's a transition from one thing to another, if it's two worlds, there has to be in between some kind of vacuum to give space to allow for this new world, for this new inyan to begin. Okay, is lesikum, is meichen amidis abein arich. In Nunhei, he adds another knitch. We know that between meichen and midas, there is really a bridge. The bridge is what we call the midas shebemeichen. It says, like Alderich in Samachei says, that you could have a person who understands that the Eibishter is emes. But to understand that the Eibishter is teiv is not a seichel word. By definition, like the Rambam says, seichel, muskolus, could teach us emes and sheker. Teiv and ra are not muskolus. Mecha teisa, that's good. What says good? If I tell somebody that something makes sense or not, the cheshbon klept, good. That's something which is could be proven or disproven in seichel. When I say this is fair, this is right, this is good, these are words which, by definition, are relying on the world of mitzvahs. They are really based on the gut of a person who he feels in himself it's wrong to kill someone. If a person doesn't have that hergish or that conscience, there's no way to prove it. So the word teiv is really not a seichel word. So if a person understands the richtigkeit, the derher, as das is good, the Eibishter is a gute Sache, or anything is good. If you understand that it's not fair, so it's wrong that this person should be the meitzi, should be able to get it without proving. So there's the concept over here of fairness. That, by definition, is a midas word. What's it doing in the world of seichel? So we say there's something called midas shabamech. Ad beloshen achsidis his spilus seichel. Now, spilus seichel means more than that. It's not just that in my seichel I understand al pi cheshbon based on the klolim of what I know is fair or not, or what's good or not. I have an appreciation or a derher in the Reichkeit, in the Geschmack von der Sache, Mele, I agree, or it's my opinion now, I feel this is good. So this is what we call a bridge between Meichen and Midas. Meichen itself just knows the truth of it. Midas is the emotional attachment to it. The Mamutza would be the Midas Shebemeichen, where der Herr der Reichkeit, the Geschmack von der Sache, the goods. Ve'im kol zeh, we need to have this Meter Agar. Why? Because sof Midas Shebemeichen is, I understand the Geschmack, but it's the objective Geschmack. It's Kirvus Elikim Teif. I won't say Kirvus Elikim Li Teif. I don't put myself in the picture. So it's the way I understand the goods kind. What we're discussing over here is to bring to Amida. Amida is the world of Yeshes, the world of Hergesh Atzmai. For that, even Kirvus Elikim Teif, the word Teif, is still Be'en Arech, and we have to have a transition, which is a Diluk, and therefore we have a Ein Be'entza, which is the Meitzer Agar. It's Lesikum. The reason why Begashmis we have a Meitzer Agar, the most narrow place in the Guf, is because Beruchnis, there is also this vacuum between Meichen and Midas. Al Derech, that we see also in Seichel. Before a person comes to a new idea, a person has a Shtemim Kishar Chade, where he's kilu lost. Between the old idea and the new idea, there is a blank. And this phenomenon we see, say in Gashmias, in Rikoven Agarim, when I plant a seed, so between when the seed is planted in the ground and when it grows, the sprout, the seed rots. So there is again an ayin ba'entza between the first state of the garin and the growth. There has to be a yirid. And al derech zeh, he says in Aveda, in Nunheit, the Rebbe doesn't bring it. There's the idea of Sheva Yipul Tzadik V'Kom, that in Aveda, before a person grows to the next madrege, there is very often a yerida between one madrege and the other. Al derech zeh, we see in Gashmias the way a chick comes out of an egg, like it says in our Mamer. Al derech zeh, we see in between from the Keach HaMaskil to the Seichel. And in various dugmois, like the Rebbe points out, in Dem and Tzmei Chayim Medaber, you always have these einyonim of between Yesh and Yesh, you have to have an Ein Be'entza. That's the reason why also over here we have the Ein Be'entza. Lafi zeh, we could come back to the idea of Meitzar or Klippus Mitzrayim. This is all the way Meitzar or Mitzrayim works the way it should be. That you have Meichim, then you have a vacuum in between, a Meitzar, a straight, and then there's the Israchvus, the Ispashtus, the way Midas are made. The problem is that whenever you have a Helen, this is a space for your Nix Chitzenim. Whenever there's darkness, so the Chitzenim could latch onto it and take advantage of the dark, the Ganovim Gavinen in the Finster. What happens over here is that right now I'm not in a place of awareness of truth, which is a bittul, a dvekus to the Emes. It's also not in a place where I have a hergesh, a ave to the Eibishter. So I'm neither here nor there. In that place of emptiness, which is pre-designed, there's supposed to be this emptiness. But because b'peil there is an emptiness, it gives a place for Yinik Chitzenim, and over here, se kann sich anheben, Meitzer Agorin, in a negative way, which is Klippus Mitzrayim. This is not the front of the neck, this is the back of the neck. The back of the neck is where things are flat, where things are dead. Like we say, M'chinas Acherayim. And over there is Parei Yetzias Ha'eref. And das is Chara and is Begematria Gor. Lefi zeh is also understood where it says in other places that Mitzrayim is the Golus Kloli. There are Dalet Golis, but Mitzrayim is not one of them, because Mitzrayim is the Klolus Inyan HaGolus. Why? All the Golusim are specific klippus. There's Golus Edom, there's Golus Bovel. These are specific problems in Aveda. All of Midas Rois, though, begin from one problem. That the Meach is not Shalit al Alev. The Meach is not driving the heart to feel the way it should be. Comtes the Meitzer HaGoren is not a specific Midara. It's not a kind of Golus. It's the Sibah for all Golus. Therefore, he can't be considered one of them. He is the beginning of all of Golus. Like it says, in all Golus, not all of Klal Yisrael were there. Even in Golus Bovel, in Golus Edom, Mashenk in the Golus Mitzrayim, alle Yidden sind dorten gewesen. Because every kind of problem, every inyan in Aveda that a Yid could have, really begins in Golus Mitzrayim, in the Golus of the Meitzer HaGor. So the Sikum, we have the Meitzer HaGoren, the way it should be, the way it's in Kedusha, as Meichin is Mele the Midah, and in between we have to have an Ayin, because between Yesh and Yesh there has to be the Ayin Be'emtza. And we have the way it is in Klippe, that as a result there's a Yenike on this Klippes Mitzrayim, where there's a Pari, Yetzias Erev, blocking between Meichin and Midas. Was geblieben schwer ist, Hagufen. What's that Pshat? Welche These? Why does between one Yesh and another, why does there have to be an Ayin? So we've shown how this is true in the Rekav and Agarin. We see how this is true even in Nefesh Adam between Ech and Midas. Aber Hagufen Timer boy. What's the Havana of this klal of Yesh, between Yesh and Yesh, that has to be Ayin Be'emtza? So that we're going to have to leave for next time. But before we finish, Lamed zulegen noch a knetch, a tiefere inyan in the inyan of Meitzer HaGoren, the way the Rebbe discussed it by Verbrengen, Yud Beis Tammuz Toshech of Dalet. It's actually very interesting. The Rebbe then brought the Rambam in Sofel Cheshmita V'Yevel. The Rambam. Usually by Verbrengen, the Rebbe would, like if it's a Rambam Siche, so the Rebbe would bring the Rambam, or like in the Rashi, the Rebbe would ask Kashis, the Yukim, suggest the Biur, Masbers on why not, go weiter, deal with the different. So it would be a Marach. This time, you could listen to the Verbrengen, Yud Beis Tammuz Toshech of Dalet. The Rebbe went through the shtickle, the Rambam, the Rebbe says you're just going to touch up line by line. On every line in the Halacha, the Rebbe hat sich angestellt und hat abgetouched der shtickle. So there's one line over here that the Rebbe was miyachas and connected to our sugya, and l'churas sukum tareis a tifkeit a naye der her in the inyan of Meitzer HaGoren in the way the Rebbe touched it over here. So the Rambam is a bavus the Rambam. Let's just see it inside. It's Hilchah Shmita V'Yevel Perik Yud Gimel Halacha Yud Gimel. We're discussing how Shevet Levi has been chosen to be Kedesh LaHashem. V'lei Shevet Levi Bilvad. Not just Shevet Levi, ala kol ish v'ish mikol boye elam asher nod v'ruchei eisei ve'evine madoi lehibodil v'lamed lifnei Hashem l'shorsi la'avdei l'deis Hashem. Every single person who is not v'ruchei ve'evine madoi, he decided he's dedicating his life to l'dasis Hashem. V'holach yosher k'mesher so'e elikim uparak me'al tzavore elachish b'nei sarabim shebikshim b'nei Adam, and he decided to throw off himself the yoke of all the tirdes, the einyonim of haze that people are searching for. Says pashtus all the different needs or luxuries of haze. So such a person, he's also Shevet Levi. So le Shevet Levi Bilvad could be Shaykhis to the Eibishter and l'shar Se'ilavdei. Now there could also be Harei Zeh, this person is Kaddish, Kedesh, Kadoshim, V'yeh Hashem, Chelke, V'nachalose, Le'elam, L'om, Le'elam, V'yiske, Le'be'elam Hazeh, Dover HaMasku, Le'kmesh, Zika, Le'kenim, Le'levi. So this person is like a Cain and a Levi. So the Fabrengen and the Rebbe discussed, what's this person? Who are we talking about? So the Rebbe says, he says, Kol ish ve'ish mikol boyeilu. So the Rebbe said, jeder sort mensch. Sometimes you think, who's shayches to being a yeshiva bacher, to giving his life to the Eibishter? It's a seichel person, a person which is shayches melachatchile, to dedicate himself to search for mada, to search for knowledge of the Eibishter. But they call ishvish. A seichel mensch, and the Rebbe said, a seichel mensch are a practice mensch. There are people which are more practically minded. And the same this person is also shayches to become Shevet Levi. And as the Rebbe went through the whole Seder of the Rambam being mefaret prat nach prat. So the Rebbe stellt sich on the words Asher not varuchei eise ve'evine madoi. It touched to say Asher not varuchei has to be mitzvah. Not varuchei nedava is miloshen nediv libe. Like you have in Parshas Vayakil, kol nediv libe. You have ruach also means lev. Like we know that nefesh, ruach, and neshama is maise, midas, and meichin. The ruach is always lev. So not varuche means the mitzvah. Hivine madoi also means seichel. That's also understood by pashtus. So we have a person that gives his heart and he gives his mind to the Eibishter. What's the ad over here? Parak me'el tzavare elach heshbenes harabim. Was ist dort der Yosef? So Rebbe touched us there. You could have a person who is meichin is by him is klar, and even his midas are klar. Elamai, there's midas tivi. The midas are not coming from his meich. His midas are just hergish, like a person has a tivistic hergish for the Eibishter. Avam suteres. Between his meich and his lev, there's a meitzer agor. This klippus Mitzrayim, that I know the truth, but I don't feel that way. The aveda of becoming a Shevet Levi is uparak me'el tzavare elach heshbenes harabim. You have to throw off the yoke from your tzavar, from the meitzer agor, from your neck. That's the place that has to be cleaned. So even if you have meich and you have midas, you don't have the bridge in between. That has to be David. Kommt es der Rebbe saying over here, tiefer word. But pashtus, what's the issue with the Meitzer Agari? That I don't have heritage. As I'm kalt, like he describes the Meichen Bekriris, se felt in midas. If a person has heritage, is doch good. Sagt der Rebbe ne. You could have hergish, aber nicht das is Avede von Chabad. Avede pnimis meant not just that there should be hergish, but the hergish has to be the fiamechen. So you can have a person who's not varuche. The hergish is full, and he's also evine mada the seichel is good. Well, the only thing that's missing is now that the midas should be the fiamechen. The midas are the midas, not the fiamechen, and that is also a problem. In other words, this is a practical thing. Very often you have a person who is in seichel versteht ems. In hergish hat hergish. Why does he have hergish? Because he was nischalich that way. Because he has a hergish. So it's dumb. Oh, but the hergish is not anchored in truth. It's not coming from the chassidus that he's learning. He learns chassidus and he has a hergish. Well, of course, he has a hergish for Yiddishkeit. He has a hergish tere mitzvahs. He has a hergish for the Rebbe, for chassidus. He cares for things. But it's not coming from the chassidus that he's learning. So he has a ale on his tzavar. That's a more darkistic meitzer agorin that even if you have herish, the herish is not coming from the meichen seichet problem. And that's the aveda of Yetzias Mitzrayim to penetrate that.